Pas de soleil, pas de soleil, pas de soleil. I'm really sorry I keep switching up the backgrounds on you guys. Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. As always, I'm so glad you're here with me today. I have a fun project that has been kind of up and coming lately. I've been seeing this on a few blog posts. A lot of people actually have done an acrylic calendar, but in my office, I don't have room for it, so I wanted to do a weekly goals one, which I am so in love with. And it's going right where my vision board was. Definitely click the card right here if you haven't seen that video, but I really wanted to fill that with something else because 2020 is long gone by now and I want to get rid of that vision board. So if you want to see how I made this cute weekly goals calendar, please give this video a thumbs up, click my subscribe button, and keep watching. So I made my design in Canva actually, and I have the free version, but what you'll do is go to the home screen and create a design. Click the custom size, and the size of my acrylic sheet was 18 by 24, so make sure you change it to inches and then type in those dimensions. But I'm opening my previous project that I already have, and this is the design here. So I'm going to duplicate it as usual just to show you how I did it. You want to click the text button and then the font holiday, and you're going to type in weekly goals or whatever you want to have in here. It's totally up to you. And here I'm going to just ungroup everything and kind of delete some stuff to show you how I did it. So in order to get the arches I have right here, you want to click on elements on the left hand side, and you can scroll through these shapes. I think it was in here, but I didn't see it actually. Yeah, it's right there. I obviously didn't see it. So an alternative is just to type arch, and I clicked that one by accident, but here's this one that I chose, and I wanted it a little bit shorter, so you can double click on it and click crop, and I cropped it and then adjusted the size to my liking. And then I just changed the color just so I could visually see how it would look. And then you're going to duplicate them for all of the days of the week. And what's nice is that you'll see Canva actually aligns it for you and helps you line up everything together. So I sped this part up. And then in order to get the text, again, we're going to click the text button, add a subheading. I'm going to highlight this, delete that, and just type the first initial of each day of the month. So this one was S, and the font for the initials was Shorthand. I think that's how you say it. So I'm going to duplicate the S again because there's Sunday and Saturday, and then I'm going to duplicate them again and just type in the other letters. Then I highlighted the ones that I already made and deleted them so we could get those out of the way. I then grouped it just to make it easier for when I move them to the side. And now for the rectangles, I chose a little thicker one at first. This is the one you want, and then I adjusted the sizing, deleted the old one, and then I rotated it. And then you can adjust the size. So I made it a little bit shorter, and you can see it's like inside this little box, which is perfect. I zoomed in actually because I wanted it to align with the bottom of the arch. And then once I liked the sizing, I then duplicated everything and adjusted them for the rest of the days of the week. They both look the same, which is great. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to separate them into 3 pages. The first one, I'm doing just the days of the week, and you'll see why in a few why I do this. And then the second page that I do is just the arches, so you want to remove the days of the week, the boxes, and the weekly goals text. And then the last one is just remove the days of the week and the arches, so you have these 3 pages. Now you want to download each page separately. To do this, you just click download and then select the page that you want, and then it will save, and I drag it to my desktop just to make it a little bit easier when transferring it to Cricut Design Space later on. So I'm going to repeat this process. So once you're done, we can open up Cricut Design Space and upload the image as usual. We can either drag it or browse it, but I do like dragging. And then we're going to save everything as a simple image and remove the background. I do speed this part up, and again, it is fast, so I'm very sorry, but I do show this in a lot of my videos, and they are slower in some of them. I wanted to not make this video super long. So, and then you want to save it as a cut image. That is super important. And it added it really big, so I just minimized the screen and then I shrunk it, and I am doing the exact same process for this. So I'm uploading it, adding it as simple, removing the background, saving it as a cut image. Boom. Again, same thing for the days of the week. Alright, so now that I have the size kind of adjusted, I'm going to change the color of the arches. Just again, visually, this is totally personal preference, but I'm a very visual person, as you know. And again, you'll see that these don't line up, so you just want to adjust the sizing to make sure they are perfect. And then to double check, you could highlight everything and then center it horizontally and vertically. Now, as always, you know I love making templates, so I'm making it a light gray color. Can't make it clear, wish we could, but we couldn't, so we're gonna have to settle with this. And then I changed the sizing to 18 by 24 because again, that is the size of my acrylic sheet. Now I can adjust the sizing properly to see what size I want. I do mention this a little later, but please make sure if you're using the, oh my god, I don't know what they're called, the gold nails, make sure you leave room for them. And I wanted to make the weekly goals a little bit bigger, so again, this is something I go over very detailed in my slice tool video, but I am just separating the boxes from the weekly goals because I wanted the boxes to stay that size, but I wanted the weekly goals to be a little bit bigger. So here I'm just fine-tuning the sizing of everything. Again, I'm just being really nitpicky. Take your time with it. I just sped this part up. And see, I made this much bigger, which I personally liked. I didn't want it small. And then I just grouped everything just to see how it would look if I centered it horizontally and vertically. I think this was a perfect amount of size for the 4 corners. So here you see there's plenty of room for the 4 corners. So now we can hide that template and ungroup everything. And we don't need to weld anything because these are images and nothing's going to be taken apart. We already made this separately out of Cricut Design Space. Click Make It, and you're going to be using the 12 by 20 format. So if you don't have this, I do link this in the video description below, but I'm just adjusting where they are on the mat, and then I note where the measurements are and I cut everything out previously. The setting is going to be vinyl, and here we're going to start cutting everything. So the first round of cutting are the boxes. Then we can click the arrow button, remove it from the mat, and again, do the same exact process for the days of the week and the text. Cricut is going to cut everything. And then the vinyl that I used for the rust color was Texas Orange from Amazon. And I really liked that rusty color. I will link that, of course, as well in the video description. And now we can finally weed. So I removed the background, so the arches are shown. And then you're going to want to remove the inside of each rectangle as well. As always, if you're weeding text, you want to weed the inside of the E's and the A's, O's, etc. and then remove the background just because it's way easier doing it this way, trust me. And then a part of the M didn't weed, so I just took that off. And now I'm cutting this because I don't want it to be attached. I need it to be separated. Here we have our acrylic sheet. I adjusted the camera angle because this was the only way you could see it. It was pretty big. So I removed the plastic film and I'm going to apply it to the front of it. To make sure that it stays in place so it doesn't move or anything, I just taped the 4 corners. And here you want to measure everything. So you want to make sure that everything is properly distanced vertically and horizontally as well. I was taping, measuring, then taping, just adjusting as I went. and I'm going to start with the arches. Now, a big tip I have, which I didn't tell you, is, and I was kicking myself because I should have done this in the first place, I used a grid mat underneath, which I will show you, I think, in the next few clips. But here you want to apply the transfer tape and scrape it down with the scraper tool. We're removing the backing of the vinyl. And here you'll see my lovely grid. I like snuck it right underneath there, and I measured it so I knew which line I could line it up with, and it made it 20 times easier. Again, this is a product that I highly suggest you should get, and I will link in the video description below. Then you can apply it with the scraper tool and really scrape it down, because sometimes the vinyl will get bubbly, especially on acrylic sheets. And now we can move on to the text of weekly goals. So here I am applying the transfer tape again, and I had some trouble with it, but I'm using the same exact method in my wood sign video. So I apply the transfer tape, I tape the side of it with masking tape, I remove the backing, just a little bit of it, so I know that I can apply it straight, because if I don't apply that piece of tape, I might have the wrong measurements again, and I do not want to risk that, especially with an acrylic sign, because it is so noticeable when things are crooked or uneven. And doing this method just works so much better. So I go into much further detail about that in my wood sign video, which I will link the card right here as well. And then again, you want to scrape it. I removed the tape, and then I removed the transfer tape. Here I'm applying the days of the week. So here I took the transfer tape yet again, and it's the same process. You're just applying the transfer tape, you're scraping it down, removing the back of it, and then applying it to the acrylic. In this case, it's on top of the rainbows. I keep calling them rainbows, arches, same thing. And then you want to scrape it down and remove the transfer tape. And you can repeat the same exact process for the rectangles as well. Then I just removed all the tape really quick, and I flipped it to the back. Now this part is optional. You can remove the plastic film for this part or not. Some people leave it on, some people, like me, left it off. I don't think there was a difference, but whatever you want to do. They're called sign standoffs. I keep calling them gold nails. I'm measuring 1 inch vertically and horizontally, and then I'm marking a dot, as you can see right here. So here I have the ruler, and I'm just measuring 1 inch in and 1 inch out, and then I apply some tape, circle the dot right in the middle of it, so I know that's where I will be drilling into the acrylic. And I will link the extensions that I used in this. Here we put a towel down, and you're going to want to put a piece of wood underneath just to make sure you don't go through the desk. This was a 3/8 of an inch sized drill bit, and I will link a picture here somewhere so you can see, and I will also link the product down below. So I did that for all 4 corners, and then I removed my vision board and measured it on the wall. Here, my husband is using 3/16 inches to drill in the holes into the wall. The kit came with these little plastic holders for the nails to go in, so you're going to put those into the wall and then either nail them in. And here you use the drill bit again to nail it into the wall with the gold sign standoff. Yes, I got it right this time. Since the drill wasn't long enough, you can just take a screwdriver and screw that in all the way. And here I'll show you again. So you take the nail with the gold sign standoff, drill it in as much as you can, and then use the screwdriver to screw the rest of it in. And screw it until it stops turning. That's how you know it's done. The last part was putting the acrylic sign on and then putting the top part of the gold sign standoffs, and you are all set with your acrylic sign. How beautiful did it come out? Thank you so much everyone again for watching this tutorial. Let me know what you thought of it in the comment section below. Love how this turned out. Again, if you liked it, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and click my subscribe button to see more videos like this. I will see everyone in the next video. Bye!